Alright everyone, this is Bob for a new episode of I guess Nature at its best or something like that. So basically we are keeping some isopod in here, and now it might look like there isn't a lot in there, but we have, I think, over like 50 or something like that in here. Now most of them are very young and still very small, so once the heat is going to be a bit, like when outside is going to be a bit like more warmer and things like that, I'm going to be able to set up way more small vivarium like this one, and also like a 10-gallon aquarium with a cracked bottom. I'm going to use that enclosure to create a new terrarium. I will be more than happy to put all those in there, but for now all of those little guys are doing perfectly fine, and I actually decided to put dirt and some leaves and things like that that I just found outside in there, simply because I do believe well, I just prefer the natural look of it. I just prefer to see animals behave in natural habitat, though this cat towel was perfectly fine. And if it's your first time, I do recommend using this cat towel method rather than the dirt method, simply especially if you're going to keep it inside, it's much easier to do some maintenance, even though you don't really have to do that much maintenance. I mean, the advantage of me doing it naturally is the fact that I have some microorganism thriving in the moss, so we have some moss right here. I put a lot of moss, as you can see, they like that. But yeah, I have a lot of microorganism and things like that. It's just that it's a less controlled setup. But I know what I'm doing and things like that, so I'm totally fine with it. It's just that if you want to do something like this, you might want to do it in the exterior instead of having it in your home, but you know, I'm not afraid of those little bugs, so yeah. And also with the cat towel, it's easier to see all the isopod instead of, well, I just like them to be able to hide, you know, basically. But, you know, if you don't want that, well, I do recommend you to put some type of hiding place for them, but you know, if you like it bare bottom, keep it with a scat towel. That way your isopod will have the hydration. But the way I'm doing it, keeping some moss, keeping some dead leaf. First of all, the isopod will eat the dead leaf eventually. It will take a lot of time for my little colony right here to eat all those leaves, so I don't have to worry for feeding them for the next few weeks or even like a month or something. But eventually those leaves are going to disappear, especially if I put some millipede and some worms with them. I just don't think there is enough dirt for worms, at least more than one or two small ones, but you know. Isopod are really easy to maintain. It's like a very nice introduction to the world of vivarium keeping, simply because they are super hardy. Like basically there is still snow outside, and I was able to collect, as I said, like 50 of them, and so they don't care about temperature. Like if it's cold outside, I would say like wait until like there isn't like freezing temperature outside and then collect them. But if you're not skittish like me, you can also keep them inside for a while, and then eventually I'm going to actually put them outside. It's just that right now I can't, otherwise they will die in a frozen container. But yeah, for alimentation, you literally just have to put a few like dead leaf in there and some moss as well. They won't necessarily eat the moss, but they will get a lot of hydration from the moss. And you know, put a rock or something, especially if you have a dirted terrarium like this one. Just put a rock in it and it will be perfect for them. Now a lot of the actual isopod are converging to this rock right here, so they like to hide in there. I just flipped it to see, and yeah, there was like 10, 15 out of them, you can see they really enjoy going in there. So if you have some isopod, like make sure to have like a rock or a piece of driftwood. Driftwood is even better, I do think. All the isopod always loved the driftwood. It's just that I didn't had a small piece to put in here. But if you do have like, you know, a chunk of driftwood, especially like or even just wood, like that you find in nature, you don't. That's a cool thing about isopod. You don't need like, contrarily to aquarium, you really don't need to care that much about like water and things like that. Like it's 10 times easier to keep isopod than to keep something like similar, like shrimp. You know, if you like shrimp, you're going to like to keep isopod because it's basically the same except terrestrial. You know, and so I do believe a lot of you from the fish family will very much enjoy this, and a lot of you like mothers and parents that do watch my videos, I do think setting something like this is very cool and educational for your children and things like that, and for yourself as well. We can really like go crazy on it, and just like make sure to check out my older videos, by the way, about those vivariums, especially. I think I have like a vivarium playlist if you want some ideas. Like I really enjoyed the bowl vivarium. It was like full of nice moss, and there was like a plant growing out of there, and that small project was really fun to do, and basically it takes care of itself. You just need to put a few dead leaf and just make sure that it is watered enough, and you can keep it for a long period of time. Like this project, I could keep it for like most of the summer. Now I'm not going to do it. Well, maybe I would. I could put like a wolf spider in there. That could be cool, because eventually isopod like are getting boring. But they are really rewarding. And if it's your first time keeping insect, or well, rather crustacean, and because isopod aren't insect, they're actually like the like terrestrial form of the lobster is basically their ancestor, you know, or their cousin rather. But yeah, so very fun to keep. To catch them, you basically just have to flip some rocks, especially in the wild, and you're going to find them. But you know, just find place where it's moist around your backyard. Moist. I think Demigena really hate that word, so moist. I'm sorry. But yeah, so basically just find some rocks and some piece of driftwood, just flip them, and you're going to find some isopod. And they don't bite, they don't fly, they don't go fast, so you can like see that's their top speed. It's really easy to catch them. If it's your first time, I would recommend just picking up the bigger one, because the small one can be crushed easily by your fingers, so you have to be very gentle. They aren't like super soft. They're actually they do have some type of shell. Most of their body is actually a shell, but you know, just go easy on them. They aren't as strong as a beetle, for example. A beetle is really like harder, I guess, to crush, because they do have like a really strong build compared to the isopod. And you know, if you're afraid to crush them, you can just like pick them up with like a ball of cotton. That way, like you don't you just squeeze like not too tight to try to crush them, but you know, you just like surround them, and like that way it doesn't like crush them that way. But you know, didn't really try that necessarily, but and also that way you don't touch them if you're a germaphobe or something like that. Not that they are really like hard to pick with your fingers. Like I don't want to catch them like right here. I just want them to relax a bit. Again, they are nocturnal. Sorry, so you won't see them that much. But if you get a big number of them, like I did in this vivarium, you're going to see them a lot. And as like you're going to see like at least a few of them like move here and there. And I do recommend to put like other insect with those and like other like millipede and things like that as well. That way you have like several things to watch. So if the isopod aren't like are always hiding or you don't see them that much, you can see other things. Sorry. Ooh, de-zooming. All right, there we go. But yeah, it's pretty interesting, pretty fun, and also you can keep most plants with them because they don't eat live plants. They will eat only the like dead leaves and things like that. So they basically are maintaining a lot parts of your vivarium, and I do believe also they are perfect for ecosphere. But I'm not sure about ecosphere built. So I'm not like saying that as of an expert advice, but yeah, like they are really hardy. So and they remain relatively small. I think they can grow to like 1 to like 1.5 centimeter, which is like not even an inch. But yeah, a pretty cool little fellow to get, and I hope you get inspired, especially if you're in the fish family and looking for something new. Well, you know, isopod. And I do have a second video that I'm going to show you all, and it's going to explain how I might use isopod and a fish project. So make sure to check that out, and I will see you all real soon.